That's former Vice President candidate Kamala Harris with the first major speech since losing the 2024 presidential election. Former Vice President, of course, advising Democrats to band together like elephants against President Trump's agenda. As a new Harvard youth poll shows, support for Democrats in Congress among 18 to 29-year-olds plummeting 25% from the fall of 2020. Joining me now with more on why young voters stand with President Trump is Turning Point USA founder and president Charlie Kirk. Charlie, great to have you.
Thank you. Good morning.
Your reaction, and tell us, do you think young people are with Trump because they were the most hurt by teachers during COVID, against them? Tell us why you believe young people are standing with President Trump.
Well, that's absolutely true. And listening to that clip of former Vice President Kamala Harris, I can say we're finally unburdened by what has been. It feels good that we have new leadership in this country. But when I look at President Trump's phenomenal commencement address at the University of Alabama, I feel that it's necessary to contrast that with a completely different one that Joe Biden gave at Morehouse University when he was president. When President Trump gave the speech, it was about optimism and positivity, and you could do anything when you put your mind to it. When Joe Biden gave a commencement address, it was all about systemic racism and police brutality and how America has a terrible past. It was about oppression, and it was a very heavy and sad and negative speech. And you contrast those two together, and this is one of the main reasons why we are seeing the greatest generational realignment since Woodstock, where younger people are not going to the left like they did in the summer of 1969. No, they're defying all the experts, and they're going to the right. We are seeing the base of the Democrat Party evaporate. Democrats are bleeding the core constituency. Young people for so long have been the cornerstone of the American left. They've always been able to count on college campuses as their main source of energy for activism. Now, it's the main source of energy for the Republican Party and for President Trump, from the Yale youth poll, from the Harvard youth poll. And to your astute point, Maria, you're exactly right. 18 to 22-year-olds, these are the lockdown generation. They had prom graduation stolen from them. They had to wear masks unnecessarily. They were forced to get vaccines. They had many friends hurt themselves or kill themselves because of the lockdowns. They do not trust the experts. They get their information from places like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and they are now the most solid and loyal base of President Trump's ever-growing coalition.
Because they believe President Trump. They know he's telling the truth, and he's not afraid to call it out.
Exactly. That's exactly right. And they're tired of politicians that are so negative on America. They want a positive vision. Think about the negativity that they were formed in. What happens between the ages of 14 and 21 are the most predictive elements of how you view the world. They heard that the world was ending because of COVID, the world is ending because of systemic racism, or the world is ending because of climate change. Honestly, they're rejecting it. They want a positive future, and President Trump is delivering it.
How refreshing. Stay with us. We'll slip in a short break and then come back with Turning Point USA founder and president Charlie Kirk. Stay with us on Sunday Morning Futures. Welcome back, and I'm back with Turning Point USA founder and president Charlie Kirk. Charlie, it looks like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez wants to run for president with all these this campaigning she's been doing. Your thoughts?
Well, I think America is now fatigued by the catastrophizing of American politics. Everything that AOC believes is that we need urgent, multi-trillion-dollar government action because we're going to be overwhelmed because the oceans are going to take down Miami Beach. So we need to spend $100 trillion on the Green New Deal. We need to spend $50 trillion because of systemic racism. And that connects to my earlier points, which is the Democrat Party is constantly talking about an imminent apocalypse. And the American people are just done with that. Think about it. We went through COVID. We don't want to live that way. And so AOC is actually framing herself, of course, on the radical left. But if you go a layer deeper, it goes towards something that the American people are rejecting, which is we just want normalcy back in our lives. We want a secure border. We want to be able to make stuff in our country. Yet AOC, the vision that she's going to try to put forward, or Bernie, or whomever fills this caricature, is one where they say there is imminent decline and collapse unless we triple the size of the federal government.
Meanwhile, I haven't heard one peep out of any of these Democrats about the anti-Semitism on college campuses.
Exactly. Oh, it's terrible. Not one because they actually side with the Hamas wing on these college campuses. That is part of their coalition. You see, they have made some very, very dark deals over the last decade. They made a dark deal with the radical trans elements of their party. They made a dark deal with the open border lobby. And they also made a deal with this ever-growing, disturbing anti-American, anti-Semitic, anti-Western force that we've seen embedded on college campuses, which is this emergent pro-Hamas coalition. A lot of their base is sympathetic with their complaints, and they cannot shed it. So, in fact, they have to now go into the 2026 midterms and go into the 2028 midterms married to those three very unpopular anti-American forces in our country.
It's great to see you, Charlie. Thank you so much. Charlie Kirk joining us.
Thank you so much.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.